Straight ahead on WBKB, Alpena's firefighters receive acknowledgement on 9/11. Plus, Oscoda pays tribute to the fallen. And Alpena residents share their memories of that fateful morning 20 years ago. You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 11 starts now.
Live from Alpena, Michigan, this is WBKB 11 Late Night News. With news anchor Kent Davis, sports anchor Austin Sumowitz, and sports director Tyler Cruz, we have the most up-to-date information on local news, weather, and sports. With an update on today and your first look at tomorrow, this is WBKB 11 Late Night News.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kent Davis. 20 years to the day since the September 11th attacks shook the nation, millions of Americans remembered the nearly 3,000 people killed that day. Ceremonies were held Saturday in New York, at the Pentagon outside Washington, and across the nation. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn reports from the site of the Twin Towers attack in New York.
At sundown, the tribute in light filled the New York sky, marking the spot where the Twin Towers once stood. During Saturday's Ground Zero ceremony on the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, there was silence and remembrance.
I remember this day as if it was yesterday.
My cousin, Brian Christopher.
Dad, we miss you every day. Our greatest gifts are your beautiful grandchildren.
Bells tolled at the exact times tragedy struck on that sunny Tuesday morning 2 decades ago. Former Presidents Obama and Clinton joined President Biden at the memorial in Lower Manhattan. Retired New York City fireman Kevin Kelly lost several friends and colleagues on 9/11.
It's easy for somebody who wasn't down there, didn't experience it, to just remember it one day a year. For me, it's every day.
The number of victims from September 11th continues to grow. It's estimated more people have died from 9/11 related illnesses than the nearly 3,000 people who were killed on the day of the attacks. The President and First Lady laid a wreath in Shanksville, where the passengers and crew of Flight 93 fought back against the hijackers. Former President George W. Bush spoke at the ceremony.
These Americans were brave, strong, and united in ways that shocked the terrorists, but should not surprise any of us. This is the nation we know.
At sunrise, a flag unfurled at the Pentagon, and President Biden made it his last stop of the day. Taps sounded there and closed out the ceremony at Ground Zero. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Over 300 people ran in this year's Tunnel to Towers 5K run. This year marked the return of the run to Alpena after a COVID hiatus in 2020. The Alpena branch of Tunnel to Towers marked their return, as well as the 20th anniversary of 9/11, with a gift to the city fire department. During the opening ceremonies, they presented Alpena Chief Bill Forbush with a sculpture made of steel from the Twin Towers. Chief Forbush told WBKB he feels honored to receive the gift.
The Alpena Fire Department was founded in 1871, so it's our 150th anniversary. And to tie that occasion in with the somber occasion of 9/11 and the tremendous support that we've had here at the Tunnel to Towers Walk, we were just humbled.
The 5K event commemorates New York firefighter Stephen Siller, who ran through an obstructed tunnel to reach the Twin Towers. It also raises money to build smart homes and pay off mortgages for injured veterans and emergency workers. Dave Hornick, co-director for the Alpena branch, says the organization has helped hundreds of heroes.
The last record I have heard is over 200. They're actually shooting to build another 200 by the end of the year, between building homes and paying the mortgages off.
A few of those homes are even in Alpena. Hornick says if you want to help, you can make a direct donation on the official Tunnel to Towers website. Today's run raised over $10,000. People also commemorated the fallen in Oscoda Saturday morning. About 200 people showed up to the Veterans Memorial Park on Skeel Avenue to pay their tributes to first responders, veterans, and victims. One local man sang the Star-Spangled Banner and other patriotic songs. Another brought a boom vehicle from work to fly a massive American flag almost 200 feet above the ground. Oscoda's first responders attended in their emergency vehicles as well. Park chairwoman Rosemary Nentwig told WBKB this ceremony is a relatively new tradition.
Back 2 years ago when we first started this ceremony, I felt that people were just kind of forgetting, and we made a promise 20 years ago that we would never forget. So we decided to do our first ceremony.
To cap off the ceremony, the Oscoda Rock Fest gifted the park a check for more than $10,000. On our Facebook page, we asked you to share where you were on Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. Here are some stories that stood out to us. Erin says she was working as a waitress when a driver entered the restaurant and exclaimed that planes had struck the towers. Hazel remembers working at the Alpena Walmart as people started panic buying water and gas. She says lines stretched all the way down M32. Deanne remembers being on the last plane allowed to land at Reagan International. She says the airport was eerily quiet, but didn't know why until she got to her meeting. That's just a handful of the memories you shared with us, but there are far more stories on our Facebook page. And people in Alpena now have another way to enjoy the outdoors. Saturday marked the grand opening of the Dark Woods RC Park. Visitors can test their RC driving skills on a number of courses. The park offers a winding racetrack for speed and handling, a forest course for dexterity, and an open field for just goofing around. There's even an indoor course for winter guests. Owner and operator Keith Garrett told WBKB he's been an RC enthusiast for more than 20 years. However, Garrett says he didn't originally set out to build a business.
It's kind of a side hustle. It's not really for profit. Anything that I make off the business now is going right back into it. And I expect that for the next at least 5 years because there's so much that we want to do. It's just a project for me and just to get some friends out and have a good time.
Garrett's also building his attempt at a Guinness record, the world's longest RC bridge. The Dark Woods Park is open on Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 6. You can find it just off the intersection of Lacombe and French Road. We'll have a link to their Facebook page on our website. Alpena's Military Center recently underwent an environmental test. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy gathered soil and water samples around the CRTC last week. Next April, they'll gather another set of samples and test both groups for PFAS contamination. Any relevant findings will be posted on the PFAS Response Team website. Still ahead on WBKB News at 11, potential relief for one city's water system, and a look at weather is coming up. Every Michigander deserves access to safe drinking water. Those were the words of Governor Gretchen Whitmer in her announcement to expand the state's clean water plan. DJ Mano reports Benton Harbor could get $20 million to replace all of its lead pipes.
The water in Benton Harbor has been contaminated with lead for the last 3 years, making it unsafe to drink. The proposal will allow Benton Harbor to replace every single lead pipe in the city over the next 5 years.
I want to jump for joy. I said, about time.
Turning on his faucet, right now Ken King won't even think about drinking this water.
Before we got the filters, the water did have a funny taste to it.
He got a free water filter installed 6 months ago, but still only uses it for laundry and dishes. Dozens of Benton Harbor residents told us that the color, smell, and discoloration of their tap water has forced them to buy bottled water for years.
Benton Harbor is a good place to live, but with the bad water, people are buying this bottled water, and it's costing them a lot of money. It gets very costly after a while.
In the last 3 years, the city's water has failed 6 straight lead tests.
When you're out of compliance with the lead and copper rule, you don't know what the level of lead coming into your particular home is. And so it's just better to use caution, flush those lines first thing in the day, and also use a filter.
Jill Ryan with Freshwater Future has helped provide filters and fought to fix the lead issues. She says there's a laundry list of issues connected to drinking it.
All kinds of kidney disease, lower IQ, ADHD. So there are lots of health consequences to drinking water that contains lead.
Ryan says the $20 million will be a great solution in replacing the pipes, but her focus is still on the now.
They've been suffering with this now for 3 years, and we want to make sure that they're they're safe, they have the right sources of water and filters and all of the safeguards that they need.
Berrien County Health Department has handed out filters to more than 2,600 homes in the city. King says it'll be nice to not need them in the future. The total cost expected to replace all the lead pipes in Benton Harbor is about $30 million. The $20 million from the governor plus other small grants should cover the whole thing. In Benton Harbor, DJ Manu, WSBT 22 News.
Now it's time for a look at the weather with meteorologist Edward St. Pé.
Well, let's take a look. We have the frontal system pushing closer, pushing across the area, and the shower threat with it tonight. And for the daytime hours of Sunday, we should see it all clear out for Monday, but it's a relatively weak front sliding in. You can see the scattered activity associated with it right now. It's going to sort of linger as a stationary front for the next few hours, and then high pressure should build in for Monday, and we should see sunshine back in the forecast. There's another system back out west generating a little steam, and it'll be pushing our way, looks like, for Tuesday. So more in the way of cloudiness and scattered showers then. Here's our radar. This is what we're seeing out there. You can see the shower activity along that frontal boundary as it sort of meanders across the area and pulls up stationary. So clouds in our forecast through the evening with isolated evening showers. Winds from the northwest at 7, temperatures generally in the 50s. This is the way the radar looks for Sunday. Frontal system not moving very quickly, sort of filtering out, dissipating across the area. So some isolated activity for Sunday. Big activity out in the Gulf of Mexico with another tropical system heading for southern Texas, it looks like right now. But we're expecting to see through the daytime hours of Sunday, through the morning, slight chance for showers, through the afternoon, a little better chance. Even at 6 p.m., we've got clouds and 67 degrees with rain in the forecast at that time. So temperatures generally in the 70s. Isolated showers for Sunday, partly sunny northerly winds at 10 behind the front. And through the overnight Sunday night, isolated showers and clouds continuing, winds near calm. This is the way Monday looks. Behind all of that, sunshine at the noon hour for Monday, 66 degrees then, and 6 p.m. 66, and sunshine still in the forecast. So a nice day for Monday with the northeasterly winds at about 5 to 7 miles per hour. Secondary front arrives Tuesday, scattered showers back in the forecast. There we go. And then back probably more of a cloudy overcast situation with this next front for Tuesday. And behind that system, cooling down a little bit, 70 the high, and sunshine back for Wednesday, sunny Thursday and 71, generally sunny Friday with a 30% chance for showers. Edward St. Pé reporting.
And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Karen Swafford of Hubbard Lake. She caught a fawn out on her lawn, and this here fawn did feast upon her flowers' leaves till they were gone. Thank you, Karen, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo, such as a nature shot, picture with friends, or an interesting sight you see that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com. Coming up on WBKB News at 11, Austin Sumowitz will be in with a look at sports. And Taco Bell wants your help to recycle sauce packets. Now let's take a look at some of today's top financial headlines in Money Watch. Wall Street marked the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, paying tribute to heroes from that day and honoring the lives lost. The NYSE observed a moment of silence at 9:03 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday. That is the time the second plane hijacked hit the second Trade Center tower. Families of 2 NYSE members who lost their lives on 9/11 rang the opening bell. Hourly employees at Amazon can go to college on the company's dime. The offer is available to 750,000 workers as long as they've been with the company for 90 days. Amazon's new program will also fund educational advancement, including high school diplomas and GEDs. It follows similar moves by Walmart and Target. And Taco Bell wants your used sauce packets. The fast food chain says more than 8 billion used sauce packets go into U.S. landfills each year. So now Taco Bell is teaming up with recycling company TerraCycle for a pilot program. All customers have to do is sign up for an account, collect empty sauce packets in a recyclable container, print a free shipping label, and mail it in. If you're heading to the pump, GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan helped us find the highest and lowest gas prices locally and across the state. The lowest price for gas in Alpena is coming in at $2.99 at Meyer Station. The highest is $3.04 at Marathon. Across the state, the lowest price at the pump is $2.76 in Sparta. The average across the state is $3.16. In your Health Watch, recommendations for kids as flu season approaches. And another reason to exercise. Elise Preston has some of the week's top health stories.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends all children 6 months and older get vaccinated for flu this fall. In previous years, about 80% of children who died from the flu had not received the vaccine. The AAP says the flu vaccine is especially important during the COVID pandemic. Exercising during pregnancy may be good for both mothers and their babies. A study in Norway tracked more than 800 babies and found offspring of physically inactive mothers were more likely to have lower lung function. Those children are then at a higher risk for asthma by the age of 10. And researchers at NYU Langone Health have identified certain autoimmune antibodies that are linked to how people fare when hospitalized with COVID-19. They found patients with elevated levels of the antibodies were up to 7 times more likely to develop severe disease. The research could help doctors monitor patients at greater risk of COVID complications. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Sports is coming up next, but first, Austin Sumowitz is here with a preview of what's ahead. Tell me what's new, Austin.
Hey, Kent, well, we got a good mix for you today in sports. First, we'll have the Alpena Wildcats, who are in action in soccer. Plus, Michigan State would have a wild bet day back home in East Lansing with some highlights you absolutely do not want to miss. That and more is coming up next in WBKB Sports. On this beautiful Saturday, the Alpena Wildcats were in action in soccer, taking on Bay City Western in a back-and-forth battle. Now, the Wildcats were coming off a tough 4-0 loss to Traverse City Central, so they were hoping to bounce back today, just like Big Sean said in that one song, I think. Picking up in the second half, Alpena down 1-0, and a bit of a heartbreaker for the Bay City Western keeper. Ball just sneaks right past him, and that would tie the game for the Wildcats 1-1. The Warriors would regain the lead with this corner kick headed in by Calvin Watson to put Bay City Western up 2-1. But oh, hang on, Calvin isn't done yet. Here he is running on the outside, breaks free from the defender, takes a touch, and he's going to place it right in the bottom right corner. The lead grows for Bay City Western. It is now 3-1. And coming down to the wire, and the Wildcats would get a crucial free kick opportunity, and Jacob Bubian takes it and puts it in the net. Clutch work there. That would be all she wrote for this one, though. Alpena falls to Bay City Western 2-3. They host Petoskey on Tuesday at 7. Now, today was a home opener for the Michigan State Spartans, not Michigan, but it's all good, taking the Youngstown State on, and it's the easiest way to sum up this one is not go blue, but Sparty up. 10 seconds in, first play for the Spartans, and they got tricky with it. Going with the flea flicker, Peyton Thorne chucks it downfield, and Jaden Reed is wide open, past the defenders, takes it to the house, and just like that, MSU would take the early lead. And next drive, Peyton Thorne this time would take it himself to the end zone, which almost became like a permanent vacation home for him. He would have 5 total touchdowns on the day for the green and white. Moving over to the defense for MSU, and this right here was an absolutely insane one-handed grab from Xavier Henderson for the big interception. Someone turned that pick into a trading card and get it to him ASAP. Back on the offense, and remember the Rock and Socken connection from WWE? Well, here's some of the Thorne and Reed connection. Peyton sends it deep into Jaden Reed, who turns on the Jets. He's going to break free from the defenders, score his second touchdown for the day. Now, we'll move away from the deep passes. We got a screen pass for you actually on this one. It's going to go to Elijah Collins. He's going to get the pass coming up, and he's going to get dragged down in the end zone. He'll get another touchdown from the Spartans, who scored 4 straight in just 2 quarters. Now we'll get the last touchdown pass from Peyton Thorne. This time, he'll be in the red zone. He's going to send it to Jalen Naylor in the left corner, who's going to make the play on this really nice grab. Michigan State would win this one handily against Youngstown State. Final score for this one, 42-14. After a wild ending last night from the Tigers against Tampa Bay that saw a grand slam from Jonathan Scope to get the win, and Miguel Cabrera picking up his 9th straight hit, becoming the first Tiger in the expansion era with 9 straight at-bats with hits, Detroit was looking to continue tonight with another big win against the Rays. Early on in this one, it was looking like that it wouldn't be smooth sailing for the Tigers. Casey Mize would be on the bump for this one, and picking up in the second, he would struggle. Currently 1-0 Rays. Here is a shot deep center from Kevin Kiermaier right at the warning track. This would end up actually being an RBI triple, getting the man from first base home, getting the run for Tampa Bay. Now sticking in the second, we're going to get a line drive from Brandon Lau. As he sends this one, it's going to go right into Robbie Grossman's glove as he makes the snag, but this would still bring the runner home from third. Mize would allow 3 hits and 3 runs in just 2 innings. Casey would be pulled for Brian Garcia, and yeah, he didn't fare much better. Joey Wendell would knock this one deep into right center field, and it would grab a solo home run, which would increase the Tampa Bay lead 4-0. However, we still have old reliable and Miguel Cabrera. He gets this nice single into right field, picking up an RBI to get the Tigers on the board for the night. 5-1 Tampa Bay. Tigers would still struggle on the mound. This time, Drew Hutchinson would come in as the 4th of 5 pitchers Detroit would play today. This one sent deep right center, but this is a nice grab from Akil Baddoo. Gets the out, but here comes another runner, tags up, gets home. It's now 6-1 Tampa Bay. Heading into the end of this one, bottom of the 9th, and Robbie Grossman is going to absolutely snag this one, nabs a solo home run to right field, adding one more run for the Tigers, but that would just do it for this one. After a great comeback win last night, the Tigers would lose this one 7-2. Game 3 of the series against Tampa Bay will be tomorrow at 6:10. Next on WBKB News at 11, we take a minute to appreciate our everyday heroes from all our cities.
Before we go, let's not forget how municipal workers help in all the little ways. A kitten trapped inside a light pole in Lincoln City, Nebraska was rescued on Friday, September 3rd. The rescue was prompted after residents heard meowing from inside the light pole. Video shared on social media showed David Wojciechowski, a traffic signal technician working for the city's Transport and Utilities Department, opening the pole and finding the kitten inside. He says the kitten was feisty and didn't want to crawl out, but eventually they retrieved him and put him in a safe place. And that will do it for tonight's news. Visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night, or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV. Join us again tomorrow evening at 11, and have a great night.